Oh Lord, alrighty. One of these days, y'all, I'm gonna get this scheduling thing under control. Alrighty. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to the land of reckless logic. Please make sure you guys pop that like button, hit the subscribe button, and please smack the notification bell so do not miss any more posts from me. Now, let's get straight into this video. Alrighty, guys. Alrighty. As you guys already see from the title, I am here and I'm going to be reviewing the second episode, season 1 of Bad Boys Club Los Angeles. So, first things first. First things first. So we started off where we left off from last episode. Okay, so what ended up happening is that this is when Carmax, aka Darrell, and Crystal Ball, aka Milan, they was they were starting fighting. Now, for those who don't know, they started fighting because the whole thing that happened with them. Oh, wait, I almost forgot my banner. I remember this time. Haha. There we go. All right, so they was fighting from last time because what Crystal Ball thought, Crystal Ball threw the water at Carmax in defense of Twilight. All right, so they start fighting. Now, security ended up getting involved. So when security ended up getting involved, I will say that Crystal Ball ended up taking that W. I'm just going to say that. Now, but the whole thing behind it is that even though he did take the W, the whole thing behind it is that it was a sneak. It was a little bit of a sneak, only because simple fact of, we all know we're in the Bad Boys Club house, but however, at the same time, you turn around and you talk about, I don't like what you did, and plus you could tell by the way that Carmax was set up, Darrell was set up like he thought nothing of. He just thought y'all was going to dress it and etc. That's it. No, but you threw the water and then whatever the hell was in your drink and you just threw it at them and then y'all started fighting. A bit of a sneak attack, but whatever. So after they get separated. So what ended up happening was they ended up trying to have round 2. So I believe what Carmax did, it was Carmax, one of them hoes. They didn't get separated. One of them ended up running towards the other, but however, security ended up separating them. Now, when security ended up separating Crystal Ball, and keep in mind, these security guards rough. Oh my gosh! But when Crystal Ball ended up getting kind of slammed by that big dude, like the security guards like big as hell, like it's like bitch, you like Shaq over here just throwing people left and right. But now, in the midst of all the craziness, Neil's soul was not appreciative that despite whatever they all have going on, they ended up putting stuff on his jacket and just throwing liquid all over the place. He wasn't appreciative of that. So what he like, oh man, y'all messing people's stuff up. So the whole thing behind that, Skittles was like, well, in her confessional, Skittles was like, it's only a jacket. It's not even like it's like Versace or anything like anything top tier, bitch. Like you need to bring it on down because bitch, it's just a jacket. But whatever. So, but however, the thing I did notice is that with Skittles, let me go back to my thing. I don't want to mess nothing up. Yeah. So what I did notice is that with Skittles, one of the things I did notice within the episode is that with Skittles, he started to kind of get riled up or whatever. I could see like the tension and energy in the room started to really, grow. So one thing I did notice, I do want to say is that when it came down to this particular episode, one of the biggest things I do want to say is that I want everybody to notice if you watch the episode or you watch it again, I want you to watch for the transfer of energy. That's all this bad boy was. Transfer of energy. Seeing how energy can jump from this person to that person to this person to that person, and it just build upon there, right? So, Gatekeeper ended up having a confessional. Moolah ended up having a confessional. Now, the thing with his confessional, he ended up making a comment talking about all this drama going on in the house on the first day. You guys are some divas, and you guys are not bad boys. Now, it's comments like that he makes that lets people know that him not wanting to quote unquote talk to everybody else in the house. It's not just quote unquote him just having questions or concerns. You just homophobic. It is. Sometimes it's in your face, sometimes internalized. What's going on? All right, so yeah, so he made that whole little comment about that. And I was like, girl, whatever. Brushed it off. But however, Crystal Ball is hype. Crystal Ball is hype after the fight because baby, he done got his fight in. And he got the W, even though he did sneak the boy, but he got the W. He feeling good. But however, he did have to put ice on himself. He was over there limping and shit, got battle wounds, all the different type of stuff going on. Now, Natalie tells Twilight, aka Dylan, tells Twilight how Crystal Ball had his back. But however, the thing is that Twilight made it be known. Well, I don't know. Actually, I thought about it. I don't think he even told them like in person, but in his confessional, he let it be known that he can handle himself. He didn't need that or whatever. Now, here's the thing. I'm just gonna say it because I don't think I actually said it last review. Here's the thing. Crystal Ball, aka Milan, he really don't care. I'm gonna be honest with you. I personally feel, and I could be wrong, I personally feel like he doesn't really care. He's him. I'm gonna get into that a little bit later because something else that happened that I'm gonna hold off on that. I'm gonna get to that a little bit later. All right, so so now as they're as Natalie's talking to Twilight about Crystal Ball having his back, and he's saying he doesn't need it because he has Jacob and the white bitch. So he's like, okay, I noticed that Skittles, aka Gutter, Skittles was still like the tension was still rising, was still getting riled up. And the thing is that I kind of didn't know why. Like I kind of knew, but then I kind of didn't know. So the whole thing with that was like, it could have been editing, perhaps could have been editing, but at the same time, Skittles also let it be known that in her confessional, even though I say him, her, he Gutter probably don't care if I say him or her, but Skittles let it be known in his confessional that he did not approve of what Milan did, as in throwing drinks and just attacking and doing all that crazy stuff. He kind of felt like how everybody else felt, like, girl, you could have just squared up, but you just threw the drink and then just try to get yours in real quick. I can understand it. Now, this is where things are gonna. Now, keep in mind what I told you guys. Attention started to build in the transfer of energy. Now, I believe the saying is you don't create energy, you just, or wait, how the saying go? You don't create energy or destroy energy, you just transfer it. It's something like that. Now, I want you to pay attention. Now, Natalie calls for the BBC. Now, keep in mind, y'all, when I say the BBC, I don't mean Big Black. When BBC, Bad Boys cast, to gather around. Now, when she told them to gather around, now keep in mind, all this stuff has went on. Everybody's just about okay, except for the two white bitches. Now with them, Twilight and the Miss Ass So Big, like the son Williams, they're like flabbergasted. They're flabbergasted. This is not what they signed up for. They are distraught. They have entered into Black gay Atlanta, baby, and they were not prepared for it. Okay, this is just crazy. Lord have mercy. All right, so Carmex. Okay, so this is what I want to talk about. So in the midst of all that, because keep in mind too, Carmex was put upstairs. They put him upstairs, and now we're starting to see that they both have wounds. Milan, aka Crystal Ball, over here, limping. Freaking what's his name? Carmex over here. He over here got a busted lip. He gets lip bleeding. All this stuff is going on. So Carmex is coming back down. He's coming back down because Natalie, like I just said, wanted to gather everybody around because she had some videos to show them. All righty. So he comes down, and this stuck out to me. He comes down and he started dancing or whatever, and just, everybody. And then he said, I'm the light of the show. Now, the reason why that really stuck out to me, only because of the simple fact of basically what we're seeing, at least for the first 2 episodes. Now, the 3, 4, well, I'm gonna say it's safe to say up to the first 3 episodes. I'm gonna say what we're seeing is basically people solidifying their spot on the show. And then, but however, the thing is as well, is because the thing is as well is that I feel like there's a struggle to see who's alpha, which is why I said earlier, I don't think Milan, aka Crystal Ball, really cares about the whole Twilight Carmax Williams thing. I really feel like he really doesn't care, but however, he's inserting himself only because of the simple fact that he understands that's more camera time. He understands that he understands the assignment, baby. Even if I look bad, I'm still making everything work. But he doesn't really care. Same thing with everybody on the cast. They just trying to solidify their spot and trying to be alpha for the most part. All right, so and this is another reason why I said they understand the assignment, because Crystal Ball and Carmax, now Carmax is Darrell and Crystal Ball is Milan, y'all. Crystal Ball and Carmax, they ended up squashing their beef. They, I don't want to say squash it, but let it be known that we ain't got no beef. It's all about principle. I fought them because of principle, and they fought me because of principle. And I was like, girl, that right there let me know that they all understand the assignment. Okay, produce content, don't take it personal like that. At least not yet. All right, so where am I? Okay, so this is when Natalie actually presents the videos. Now, what she ended up presenting is basically what the fans, I don't want to say questions, but fans and what they want to see and all these different types of things. So basically, they all came around basically on the same TV from last episode. What I forgot what the hell I called. Oh, what if I got called his ass? Andrew. Yeah, Andrew. DoorDash. The same TV where they showed DoorDash leaving. This is the same TV that's about to show the fans talking about their opinions on what bad boys are, what they want to see, what they don't want to see. Now, I'll be honest with you, I kind of skipped through that part a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, because I was like, girl, kind of don't want to watch this part. But however, they wasn't really taking too kind of what the hell any of them was saying. So I was like, oh, okay, they must have been bad, whatever, except for the last girl, whatever. Now this is when the tension, because keep in mind, the tension was already rising. It was already kind of there. But I feel like when the videos came, it kind of went back down a little bit. But this is when things started to go up, when it started to build. Once again, transfer of energy. Watch this. So once the video was over with, Skittles gave his review on how he felt. Fuck all them other hoes, but however, last girl, she was talking that blah, 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 all that. You already know how he is. And so Crystal Ball asked the question, as in, okay, you saying all these people just not giving. Who are these people you talking about? Now here's the thing. He said 4 people. Now I believe it was 4 people. Now keep in mind, the first 2, I don't really know who he pointed at for sure. But however, I'm pretty sure. Well, I'm not gonna say. What I'm thinking, it probably was Dylan and Neo Soul. Now the reason why I'm saying those 2 is because Neo Soul was right next to the 2 straight boys, and Milan moved out the way. It was a lot. But I was thinking Neo Soul and Dylan is the first 2 he pointed at. But then when Skittles, aka Gutter, let it be known that the 2 straight men, it wasn't giving nothing. However, because they straight and they not gonna do all that. That is when things started to begin. Now, the whole thing behind it. Hold up. So this is when Gatekeeper, aka Moolah, and DMV, aka Curtis, Curtis Lee Daniels, bitch, they start to step up. Now, the thing about it, when he stepped up, Gatekeeper decides to make another disclaimer, as in, we ain't doing no penis around here. We ain't doing none of that. Only vagina, only punani, all this other stuff. And in my head, I was confused. And then not only that, now this is when DMV finally started to open his mouth. I would say more. Okay, this episode. Well, we get the chance to see more. DMV finally got from behind that desk at the DMV office and started to actually say stuff like, we ain't trying to hang with y'all. We just trying to do our own thing. We trying to bring bad bitches to the house. He was doing all that, bitch. I was confused because I was like, okay, if Miss Gotta K, Miss Skittles basically said that you guys weren't giving all these things, I'm confused on what does not being sexually attracted to dick have to do with the context of the conversation. I wasn't getting it, but I get it, but I don't get it. I don't get it because it didn't fit the conversation, but I get it because both of them are just uncomfortable, and so they're just trying to put a defense mechanism. I get it. Okay, anyway. Now, here's the thing about it, is that and that's another thing too. I watched the video back. My bad, I'm getting a little distracted. When I watched the video back, I can't realize I was doing this every 2 seconds. Girl, I'm gonna try to be mindful this time, y'all. Jesus. Alrighty, so when DMV finally spoke, which is Curtis, when he finally spoke, I was right. Oh, I just did it again, y'all. I was right. Now, the reason why is that now, for those who do not know, I call him DMV because I felt like a lot of times when Moolah would say things, because even though people would mostly focus on Moolah because he was more vocal, I would see like the subtle type of confirmations that DMV would do, as in laugh with him, because keep in mind he's giving a license to something that does not have its permit. So I was like, you down with that too? You may not be as vocal, but however, you down with it as well. And this just confirmed it. All right, and that's the whole thing behind it too. When they speak, they talk about team straight over here, team straight, and the whole thing behind it, it really just. I like the show, and I'm even though I give DMV and Gatekeeper the blues, trust me, I do. But I really do love that they are on the show, only because actually I like that everybody's on the show because it's so many conversations that can come out of this, and I like that this is like a social experiment, and you get to actually see the real experiences of what people actually talk about. So I think it's quite fascinating, interesting that people say things like queer gay men or black trans women, they separate themselves from us and all these type of things. But however, the first thing that Mr. Curtis and Moolah did, they separate themselves, already calling themselves team straight, and we don't want to be with y'all, and y'all, we're gonna do our own thing, even when Gutter K, Skittles, and Miss Louis Prada Gucci with the shades, bitch, went into the room, you want to kick them out. And like, this is the thing, that's the whole thing behind it. It's like, you at 1 minute, and that's gonna be another thing I talk about too, because that's also something that happened. 1 minute, you separate yourself, and then you claim that they do it, but then on the next minute, you asking questions, and you over here being rude and stuff to people, microaggressive, and then when they pop off, all of a sudden you want to act like you didn't have nothing to do with it. Don't worry, I'm gonna point it out. All right. So at this point, this is when Miss Natalie Nunn at this point wants to do a toast. Now, let's be quite honest. Skittles and freaking Carmax, they was not feeling the toast. I can tell you that much. They wasn't feeling the toast. They ain't want no toast. They barely had any butter. They ain't want none of that. But okay, but the whole thing behind it is that, okay, I get the toast, because all they gonna do, let's just call a spade a spade. All they're gonna do is just freaking have that infamous scene, because the whole thing with Bad Girls Club, with the super trailer, they'll have the girls, oh my God, we're in Atlanta, oh my God, we're in Mexico, and they're just going around having fun, doing all these different types of things, and then they show all the good things, but then they get to the infamous Bad Girls Club, and then they put the glasses together, have that toast, and then the following scene is fuck you bitch, fuck you bitch, fuck you bitch, and next you know they were fighting hoes left and right. So girl, I get it, but the same thing with Skittles and Carmex, I wasn't feeling it, especially if I just got beat up, bitch. I was not in the mood for no goddamn fucking no fucking toast. But anyway, so once again, after they make the toast, yes, okay, DMV and Gatekeeper ended up making a separate toast, like another toast. Team straight, we team pussy over here. Once again, another way of isolating yourselves from the group. At least in my mind, I think that the group was trying to be inclusive, as in include them inside things. And, there may have been some flaws, but I felt like they were trying to be inclusive. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I will say this so I don't give them the blues 24/7. I do like the fact that they are still on the show, or still came onto the show, um, because they didn't have to, especially I guess knowing that if they was going to be on a cast full of gay men, that lets you know, even though they may be uncomfortable, they're somewhat trying in a sense. I'm gonna try to give them that, but we're gonna see how long that lasts, because girl, I'm this close. All right, so where am I? Yeah, so he made a whole little disclaimer about him, about them, a vagina, all the other stuff. Punani, girl, bye. So this is when Gatekeeper asks Neo Soul, bitch, the big question. Now the big question is, people wanted to know his sexual orientation. What are you interested in? What do you like? Do you like left? Do you like right? Or do you like the middle, bitch? They wanted to get into his tea, bitch. But the whole thing behind it is that okay, so like I said, it's the build up of energy. So Neo Soul kind of clap. Oh my god, my thing done broke over here, bitch. So Neo Soul ended up clapping back, as in saying, like, what seems to be the issue? Like, why are you asking about my sexuality once again? Because remember, last episode he did it on the bus. So he like, why are you asking about my sexuality once again? Why does it concern you? Are you sure that you straight? And so I was like, oh. I was like, girl, bitch, I can see where this is going, bitch, because it's starting the tension once again. It's building, bitch. So the tension is rising. Now, here's my problem with the big question, quote unquote, of Gatekeeper, Moolah, Ask, and Curtis, DMV, asking Neo Soul, carry on, the big question for his sexual orientation. It's the whole thing, because people seem to, straight men, have this assumption that doesn't, like, just because this person's orientation may be, quote unquote, may be attracted to someone like you, that doesn't mean that they are attracted to you. So what I mean by that is, just because I may be gay don't mean I like just every man that goes across my eyes. That's not how that works. People actually do have preferences. People actually do have types. People can be attracted to you physically, but however, can be turned off emotionally or mentally once they, like, it's one of the things, as in, girl, I could be attracted to you like physically, but however, when I see you open your mouth and you say some ignorant shit, yeah, that may turn me off. That happens. That's actually a real thing. And so that's the whole thing with that. But also, too, I do want to say, okay, so the real reason why they want to know so much and all these different types of things is because the whole thing of, like I said last episode, the whole predators and prey thing. Because the whole thing behind it is that us as men, we have been socialized, even though I'm gay, we have been socialized to always pursue, as in we're the predators. Not saying that we are predators, but we're predators or whatever. And the women are the prey. But you always supposed to pursue. You always supposed to approach. You always supposed to be do this or do that. Da da da. But now I think the fear is that heterosexual men are afraid that gay men just might do the exact same thing that they do to women, as in objectify them, as in approach them, as in ask for their number, as in try to see if they like them or not. Like, girl, you're doing too much. Calm down, okay? And that's another thing I never got either. Like, my thing is this, like, 9 times out of 10, heterosexual men already have this feeling, like this idea, and I could be wrong, but I think it's quite safe to say, heterosexual men, for the 9 times out of 10, what I think is safe to say, already have this idea that they can beat up every gay person that come across their site. Like, it's like, even if they don't say it, I feel like it's unconscious. like unconscious bias or whatever unconscious thing. So my thing is this: if you in your head already think that you can beat me up, and you in your head already think that I'm not quote unquote a threat to you, what are you afraid of? Are you scared I'm gonna R word you? If I no, okay. So are you afraid I'm gonna beat you up? No. So I'm kind of confused with this fear come, and that's the reason why I'm like it doesn't make any sense because you have a fear of this over here, but however you have ideas that contradict that and they clash. Whatever. But hey, if you have the answer to that, let me know in the comment section, girl. Alrighty, so where was I, girl? I don't know, freaking lost my freaking spot. Girl, just doing that with the whole rant. Okay, so yeah. So as the big questions being asked, and you see Carry On, aka Neo Soul, clapping back. The tension, like I said, is starting to rise because now not only that, but tone starting to get involved in all these different types of things. You can start to hear a lot more passion behind people's words and voices and stuff. So the whole thing behind it. Oh dang, I forgot. Yeah. So Gatekeeper's tone and his verbiage. Now the thing about it is that when he said, "I'm gonna ask you again," who you talking to? I don't give a damn if you ask me how many times, bitch. Just because you ask me a question, I'm not obligated to answer it. And be quite honest, and this is the thing that that's kind of a little irritating too, is that Carry On, Neo Soul, is actually answering the questions without answering the question. Like, you have to keep it in context. If this is a heterosexual world, if you want to be completely honest, if heterosexual already run the world, and then on top of that, it's never been a bad thing to be heterosexual ever. So why wouldn't a person just say that they're heterosexual? That if a person doesn't really explicitly say that they're what their sexual orientation is, nine times out of 10, that probably means they're not heterosexual. That means they're probably either pansexual, bisexual, gay. Like girl, use your brains. A lot of times too, he's telling y'all without actually saying it. Bitch, use your context clues. Yeah, and on top of that, there's a fighting tone. I'm gonna ask you again. I don't give a fuck how many times you ask me, bitch. I'm not gonna. If I answer the first time, I'm not answering. I'm not answering now. The fuck you think, bitch? But whatever. But however, I do like the show, and I do like everybody on the show, like being on there. Even though I give them the blues, girl. All right, so I'm gonna say this. Where was I, girl? Okay, so here's the whole thing. Damn, I done lost my thing. Oh yeah. Okay, so yeah, in Gatekeeper's confessional, he made it be he let it be known, saying how the reason why he's really pressing this issue as in asking this question is because he don't want people to feel like they're being sneaky. Being sneaky, like be sneaky about what? He said if you're gay, you should put that out there. If you're straight, you should put that out there. Here's the thing. This is this is the double-sided sword that I be talking about when it comes down to people saying stuff like that. Because people say when it's when it's this, you should put it out there. When it's that, you should put it out there. But yet, in the same tone, we will be the same ones saying how what people do in their bedrooms is their business. So you want me to put it out, or you don't want me to put it out? And even if I do or don't, bitch, that's his business. Like I'm not. I get, but however, I'm a. Let me see. Can I get into that now? Because girl. But yeah, I'm just gonna say it. But here's the thing behind it. The thing behind it is that he really doesn't care, him or DMV. They really don't care about it. What they want to do is, and he snitched on himself, even though I already see through it. What they want to do, they want to find out if Carry On, aka Neo Soul, is gay or not, or etc., just so they can know how to treat him, which is the reason why DMV was trying to make that whole thing talking about he doesn't want to know. He wants to know if he doesn't want to play with him like too much or this too much and all this other stuff, all that BS. But the whole thing behind it is that your homeboy let it be known that if he ain't straight. He gotta rock with y'all. As in like you just pushing him off to the side. I'm like, damn, bitch. Like last time I checked from the episode, bitch, Carrion was quite quiet. I don't think he did anything to anybody. He's actually been quite cool. So I was like, oh, you just pushing him off to the side? Like, and so everybody was like hearing the stuff that he was saying. I was like, girl. So okay, so the whole thing behind it is this. So DMV, okay, so DMV was sitting there. Yeah, so this one DMV got involved and stuff. Once again, he got from behind that desk at the DMV office as the fat lady, receptionist lady, and he decided to talk. So what ended up happening? He ended up saying, let my boy talk, doing all this stuff, whatever. But the thing I did notice is that Miss Louis Prada Gucci with the shades, bitch, she homegirl wasn't backing down. And I was here for it. I was here for everybody in there not backing down and all the different types of stuff. Oh girl, I got a lot of notes. I really have to keep up with this. Get back down. Okay, yeah. So when Louis Prada Gucci with the shades was going back and forth with DMV and I'm about to say Carmax and what the bitch name? I'm gonna say his real name and Moolah. Carmax ended up getting involved, saying, "Don't play with my friend. Don't play with my friend." And so it was kind of like the tension is still rising because now everybody's slowly starting to get involved. Because keep in mind, you got Kurt Franklin's son over here, you got Louis Prada Gucci with the glasses over here going back and forth with Moolah, and you got and DMV, and then you got Carmax coming in. Bitch, the tension is rising, bitch. Okay, so at this point, this is when Crystal Ball steps in and asks, even though people have been asking this, but it seemed like when he said it, they actually heard it, asking the question that we all want to know the answer to. What does it matter? Why does it matter? What seems to be the big issue if he is or if he isn't? What is going to change in your life? That's basically what he wanted to know. So Gatekeeper said, Neo Soul, if he is, he has to rock. And this one he snitched on himself. If he is, he has to rock with y'all. As in, he can't rock with us. He got to rock with y'all. Once again, y'all separating yourselves. First off, y'all already separated yourselves when y'all called yourself Team Straight. Then on top of it, y'all separate yourselves when y'all keep making it known that we're only going to do vagina, and just keep trying to push that issue. And then y'all separate yourselves again when you are let it be known. When you already have somebody that you're not sure what their sexual orientation is, and you're just trying to make them, if they over here, they going over there. My girl, bye. Let me see. Now, dang, I done did all that, girl. Yeah, so let's talk about this. And I think I literally just said it with the whole thing. I think straight men's concerns is that, for one, they might get hit on if they're around people that they don't know what their sexual orientation is, caught off guard. But at the same time, I do believe that people, there's also a thing where if you're around someone, you may hang around somebody that's gay or whatever, other people might think that you're gay as well. That's also another concern that I have heard from heterosexual men as well. Shit, hanging out with me, that's really a thing, girl. So the whole thing behind it, though, Gatekeeper, he was basically saying if Neo Soul is either Team Straight or with y'all. But the thing about it is Neo Soul, I feel like Neo Soul, he was fed up, and on top of that, he was drunk as hell. So the combination of the two brought out like a little bit of a spiciness, and then on top of that, not only is he fed up and drunk, but however, you're in a bad boys club, which means that the environment's already in a ready to go, ready to bang type of environment. So, girl, those three together, bitch, he was like with the shits. Okay, so yeah, so the tension is still rising at this point. So Gatekeeper indirectly, like I said, answers the question, and Gatekeeper's no, not Gatekeeper. Neo Soul indirectly answered the question, and Gatekeeper response is keep it over there. So he once confirmed everything that's going on. So Carmax was making a statement at the time after that, because Carmax was like, you over here contradicting yourself. And in the middle of Carmax saying something, that is when Neo Soul applies some pressure, saying, ain't nobody hit me yet. And so Carmax said, oh, and shut up. So, but then once again, that tension's still going. Now, this is when things turned bad and things went left. Because, baby, This is when Gatekeeper and Neo Soul going like kind of the tension still building, and this is when Gatekeeper goes and punches Neo Soul in the mouth a couple times, and then security came in quick. They broke it up. Now, in the midst of them tussling back and forth, the whole thing behind that is that DMV went like pushed Neo Soul as security got him. But the whole thing behind it now, DMV said he said that he was hit in the face by Neo Soul. I didn't see that personally, but however, that's what he said. So when all that was happening, Cristobal ended up coming up saying that no, you're not gonna jump him. Because keep in mind, Neo Soul already got punched in the face a couple times, so he was trying to get to homeboy over there, and then you over here pushing him. So Cristobal came up and said, "Hold up, you're not gonna do all that." So okay, so his whole reasoning was that he got hit in the face. I watched it a couple times. I didn't see it, and I didn't even see Carry On even punch him or even doing any of the other stuff, whatever. But however, in Gatekeeper's reasoning is that he felt disrespected because when he was asking the question, homeboy got slick with him, and he said he doesn't feel like it was him being homophobic or anything like that. Now, we're going to get into the homophobia thing and all the different type of stuff a little bit later. But yeah, that's what he said. So this is when things hit the fan. Now, Carmax asked DMV if he wanted to fight because he was like, okay, you're getting rowdy, jumping in a fight that had nothing to do with you. Yeah, it had something to do with your homeboy, but it was a one-on-one. So he asked him, do you want to fight? Now, I thought about it. I'm assuming that he asked him that he wanted to fight because that could have been a soundbite that he put in there. So only God knows. But at this point, bitch, the gays are activated, bitch. These bitches are like goddamn Power Rangers, ho. You got the red one, the pink one, the yellow one, and the green one, bitch. Them hoes are activated, ho. Okay, so at this point, bitch, Twilight and Miss Ass So Big, like the Son Williams, bitch, they are still flabbergasted, bitch. They're like, oh my God, I don't know what I signed up for. You know, on TV, it looks one way, but however, being here with these ghetto ass bitches is something I'm not ready for this. I need to go back to Beverly Hills, Los Angeles, bitch. I'm not ready for it. Them hoes were shook, bitch. So, like I said before, the gays are activated. I'm assuming Neo Soul is part of that, bitch, but the gays are activated. You got Neo Soul over here talking about eat those, bitch. You got Skittles over here fucking rapping the shit up into goddamn Eiffel Tower in this bitch, and then you got freaking you got Carmax over here trying to walk where the boy going and shit. Like it was a lot going on. You got Christopher Milan, Cristobal over here walking just so he can try to see can he hit a bitch or two. And then you got Mr. Louis Prada Gucci with the glasses over here, making sure his glasses attached to his forehead so when he fight, can protect his eyes. Bitch, it was a lot going on. It was too much going on. So what ended up happening shortly after that is that Cristobal ended up punching DMV in the face. Now, the whole thing behind that is that he did it from behind. So he hit him from the back of his head, no, the side of his head, but he did it from behind. Now, people can argue that it was a sucker move, but at the same time, people could also argue that it's too many security guards around. Like when I tell you, security was thick in that bitch. Zeus played no games, bitch. And keep in mind, these security guards are like looking like Shaq, Suge Knight type of bitches. Like these security guards big as hell, and they slinging the hell out these hoes. But people can argue that he just tried to get him where he could because they barely let them fight. And I'm gonna say this too. I think the reason why they don't let them fight too long is because I feel like when girls fight, now don't butcher me, y'all. I feel like when girls fight, it's like I would say a little bit predictable, as in they probably go for the hair, punches and stuff, do all the other stuff. But however, when dudes fight, they'll punch. But however, it's kind of unpredictable because we all know someone may get slammed, and that slam may also take somebody really the fuck up out of here. So I think that's the reason why they're like, okay, we're gonna let it go for ratings, but bitch, make sure you break it up. We don't want no one to really get hurt. Girl, I know that's right. Let me say this. Yeah, so he punched him in the back of his head. It was a lot of security guards around as if You know what that reminded me of? That reminded me of the time when New York was fighting, was going at it with the Flavor of Love 2 cast at the reunion. Yeah, it was giving all of that, but probably times two. So yeah, so this is when Miss Louis Prada Gucci with the shades was like, if you against us, you against us. If you get gang bang, you gonna lose. If you get gang bang, you gonna lose. It was something like that. I was like, girl, gang bang. I don't think that's the. I think I know what you're trying to say, but at the same time, you probably said it on purpose because they probably don't like that gay shit. So you're trying to use that against them. But okay, I get it. I understand. I'm here with you. Now, in the meantime, Zeus also, the producers also let it be known that bitch, don't be throwing nothing up in this house. Because remember from last episode when Natalie was over here making her announcement, she let it be known, don't be throwing nothing in this house unless I'm gonna have the whole LA come and run this bitch all the way fuck through. So Zeus had to give a reminder that, okay, y'all can be hot, y'all can be passionate, but keep all your passion and stuff, all the vases and everything in this bitch cannot be touched, bitch, because we won't get our deposit back, bitch. So we got to make sure this house is in one piece so I can get my deposit back, because, bitch, that's gonna be too much, bitch. Zeus was not playing hoe. So yeah, okay, where was I? Okay, yeah. So MVP award goes to Carmax Darrell. Darrell was a key. That bitch is known for some good one-liners because, bitch, when I tell you, he had me hollering when he was like, y'all are so hostile. Y'all don't know how to fight and be alone. Bitch, the way he even said, like, bitch, that's some shit I would have said. I'm like, y'all are so hostile. Y'all don't know how to be alone. Like, bitch, that's some shit I would have said, bitch. I was here for it. So now, Mr. Louis Prada Gucci didn't had enough, bitch. He didn't had enough. He was sick and tired of this shit. He was sick and tired of hearing the bullshit that was coming out of their mouths. He was sick and tired of all of that. And the thing I did notice as well, too, is that Neo Soul really didn't do nothing after that situation, as in, after he got kind of sucker punched and stuff by Gatekeeper or whatever, and they broke it up and he had security around him or whatever, he eventually was let go. And so the thing about it is that everybody else was still up in arms, but however, he kind of wasn't, on rah like on 45. Because keep in mind too, the way that Anthony, aka Louis Prada Gucci with the shades, the way he was acting, I think that's how Neo Soul should have been acting. But however, everybody else got their own little way. So sometimes you may want to act cool, so the security guard can be clear. The next time you get that bitch. But hey, each his own. And the reason I realized that's because Milan, aka Crystal Ball, brought it up, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't even notice that. Because girl, I was caught in the tea. So now this is when we're gonna start to talk about some real shit. All right, so Natalie starts to try to regroup everybody, wants to get everybody back together at this point. Skittles done had enough. Now Skittles done got pissed off. Skittles is over here mad as hell. That bitch is sour. Now this bitch over here turning from the regular Skittles with the red pack, turning to the goddamn sour Skittles with the green pack, bitch. They had that whole fucked up. Skittles did not approve of any of the BS that was going on in this house. It was not. No, that was not the move. So Gatekeeper did a confessional. He felt like he was being misunderstood. From his perspective, Gatekeeper felt like people was trying to make it a straight gay thing, and they was trying to make it like a whole thing of him being homophobic, but people didn't understand how he felt of him feeling disrespected. Now we can. I think. Don't worry. I'm gonna get into that a little bit later. I'm gonna get into that a little bit later. I'm gonna hold off on that. Now, Mr. Louis Prada Gucci, like I said, that had enough, so he throws a drink. Because the thing about it, he was already going off on what's the bitch name? Moolah. Gatekeeper. There we go. He was already going off on Gatekeeper. But then all of a sudden he was like, you too, bitch, referring to DMV. So him and DMV start going back and forth a little bit. Even though DMV, he's like real, I don't know. I would say he's more chill than, I don't know. It's something about him. I don't know. But I'm probably gonna say it later on. But I'm just gonna hold off on that idea. I don't want to say that yet. But yeah, him and DMV start going back and forth. So what he did, Mr. Louis Prada Gucci, he took a glass of wine or whatever they had, champagne, and he put it he splashed his ass with it. Bitch, I never seen so much champagne in my goddamn life with this small ass cup. At least I thought it was small, bitch. And that bitch had to be wide, bitch, because that was a lot of champagne or wine or whatever the hell was in that shit. He was drenched, bitch. And however, he couldn't do nothing because security was in the way. I was like, God damn, bitch. I know that's you mad as hell, bitch. Now, the whole thing I did notice too is that I felt like once everything kind of hit the fan, I felt like when it came down to Curtis and Moolah, I'm gonna say the real name so people don't get confused right now. When it came down to Curtis and Moolah versus everybody else except for the two white hoes, I felt like they started to have a little bit of the idea they might have bit off more than they can be able to chew. Because yes, I understand they were still defending themselves. Yes, I understand they were still standing up against the other side, the gay people or whatever. But sometimes I was seeing in their face, they was like, you could tell they was like, they was trying to see what the fuck was going on, girl. Hey, all righty, so, oh, girl, I'm gonna mess up my thing. What the hell is that? Okay, so here we go. Now we're gonna talk about some real stuff right now. Natalie tries to defend Gatekeeper and DMV. Now, the reason why I think that was the case is because for one, they were outnumbered. And then on top of that she was trying to have that final convo. Now, the whole thing behind it is this. Natalie, I love you dearly, so I'm gonna even this out. I'm gonna even this out as in I'm gonna start with the bad, then I'm gonna try to end it off with the good. For now, the bad is that you're trying to defend them, but however, the thing about it is that when you aren't a part of a system that oppresses you, you don't know all the ins and out of that system. As in, I can't sit up here and tell women what's 100% misogynistic because, yes, I think everybody, for the most part, can be able to detect explicit misogyny. But however, every system has a in-your-face and microaggressive ways of displaying that system, as in racism. We understand that being called the N-word is an explicit way of showing racism. We understand that being called a monkey is an explicit way to show racism. But however, we also understand that just assuming that Black people in a neighborhood, walking in your neighborhood, quote unquote, without your permission, and you questioning them out of everybody in the neighborhood is also racist, even though you did not call them the N-word, even though you did not even do anything as in physically harm them. But we understand where that comes from, because guess what? It's coming from that same energy, that same racist energy. You get what I'm saying? Same way how we know this. Just be the homophobia. Calling someone the F word or calling somebody the T word are explicit ways to show homophobia. But however, we understand saying stuff like, I don't want that around my kids and all these different types of things, or just assuming just because they're queer, they're pedophile, they're pedo, I'm not gonna finish shit, and all the different types of things, that's also contributed to that same energy. There we go. But here's the thing. But however, I will say this. I felt like in the same sense that she probably was trying to still allow them to get that conversation going, only because, like I said, this is a social experiment. They want to have the tough conversations, and in order to do that, sometimes you have to bring the situation down so they can stop trying to fight each other and actually get to the point of actually having that tough conversation. All righty. Where am I? Okay, yeah. So at this point, Natalie and Zeus, they trying to wrap up. They trying to get the hell up out of there. But however, everything's just going left, so they just can't leave as of yet. So the whole thing about it, Zeus, let it be known. One of the producers, let it be known. They blurred his face out. So I know he probably was one of the top dogs. But one of the Zeus producers, I'm assuming, let it be known that this is not a gay versus straight thing. This is not a gay versus straight thing. But I'm like, girl, that's all the footage y'all hoes about to get for right now, bitch, because that's exactly what the hell this is right now. Now, understand that may not have been the purpose for the show, but as of right now, in this particular season, that is the footage that you guys are gaining. I'm just saying. Now, the whole thing about Natalie defending them, saying that they're just asking questions. Now, this is when I'm actually going to talk about some real shit. Another. I'm going to continue on talking about some real shit. Here's the thing. It's nothing wrong with people asking questions. I understand as queer people, sometimes we can be defensive. Hold up, water break. And by the way, y'all, when I do my water break, this is just going to be a little ghetto only because I'm trying to do a larger container so I can drink more water. So don't do too much of me, okay? Yes, ma'am. All right, so yeah. So the whole thing about it is that I understand that us as queer people, when it comes down to, especially when you haven't fully dealt with certain traumas or experiences, we can be a bit or very defensive and stuff, because a lot of times you have to be in order to protect yourself. But however, it's nothing wrong with you asking. Yeah, and plus they don't know about everything else. But it's nothing wrong with you asking questions. It's nothing wrong with you asking questions. But here's another point of it. Once again, if you're not a part or affected by a system that oppresses you, you do not have that sixth sense unless you are aware of it. Unless you are made aware of it. A lot of times you don't have that sixth sense. As in, one thing about it is that energy, you always can tell somebody's vibe. That's just really what it is, because the whole thing behind it is this, is that if me and this white person are talking, right? And they never call me out my name or anything like that, but you're like, oh my God. 9 times out of 10, I'm probably going to get the energy that they're just trying to be nice, but however, they're being sarcastic. You get what I'm saying? So you have that sixth sense, as in understanding what people may be saying, but however not saying. So the reason why I brought the systems up, it's nothing wrong with people having concerns, questions, and actually being honest about how they feel or question anything like that. It's just that sometimes the energy or the intent of the question is what people fall short. Because the whole thing behind it is this. It's nothing wrong with him asking the question of, hey, yo, carry on. I don't want to offend you. However, what's your sexual orientation, bro? Like, what's your story? Like, I want to know a little bit more about you. However, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. I want to know a little bit more about you. And if he want to disclose it, he can. If he don't, he don't. But it's the whole thing of this. They're not asking just to actually be concerned or genuine curiosity. They're asking so they can know how to appropriately treat him after the fact. So the whole thing behind it is this, is that some people, when they ask questions about people's sexual orientation, sometimes they want to know what, they are curious because they find out that you're gay, or they find out you're non-binary or trans. They may have questions because they may not have access to those certain individuals within their, their regular bubble. So they can probably get their answers just right then and there, bitch. You their dictionary, their Wikipedia, whatever. But the whole thing behind it is that sometimes some people want you to be able to disclose just so you can put an X on your back, and it makes an easy target for them. That's really what it is. And for that case, in that case, that's exactly what that is, because the whole thing behind it, the homeboy kept saying is that, I'm asking you because I have no problem with gay people. But however, once I find out that you're gay, I'm paraphrasing, once I find out that you're gay, you have to hang out over there. I'm like, I just know he did not just say that, because the whole thing behind it, that's the same rhetoric that we were told. I'm like, I have no problem. Oh, it's all right. I have no problem with, Black people. But the whole thing behind it, once I actually, that's a perfect example. A biracial person. Because, the whole thing behind it is this. They be like, tell a biracial person, are you Black or whatever? Or, a white person talk to a biracial person, are you Black or whatever? You'd be like, oh, they don't really disclose. I'm like, I have no problem with Black people, but, once I find out that you are Black, you can start using those fountains over there. What's the difference? In the same rhetoric. That detects that you got a problem. Ooh, girl. But however, I get on one end what Natalie was trying to do. She was trying to allow them to at least have that tough conversation and also bring the situation down because they was that tension was it was going high, bitch. It was climbing, bitch. It was going for the clouds. Okay, so where was I? Okay, so at this point, Neo Soul is mad as hell, bitch. He is mad. Okay, he is mad because, and I would say rightfully so, because the whole thing is this: is that he was trying to mind his business, be in his little zone, probably do like 1, 2, 3 or whatever, just so. But however, not being too much of the fuck shit. He was trying to be his little zone. And then the whole thing is that you got nosy people keep trying to ask you questions. And then when you don't want to respond, they take it as disrespect because they feel like when they ask you a question, you must respond, which is the whole reason why when he was like, I'm gonna ask you again, bitch, I don't give a fuck how many times you ask, bitch. I didn't answer the first time. What you think I'm gonna answer the second time? And then they take it as disrespect and then hit you in the mouth because you tired too. Bitch, you can frustrated because you asking me a question. Well, bitch, stop asking. Duh. But whatever. Where am I? Yeah, so that's really how he felt. But then he also said something that really stuck out to me. Now, y'all, I'm trying to keep this roughly around an hour for this review. So we're gonna wish now. So it's just the whole thing of this. It's like he said something that really stuck out to me. He was like, I feel like both sides are on some BS. Now, I was a little confused at first, but I was like, how was they on some BS? Because they actually taking up for you. But however, I can understand what DMV and freaking Gatekeeper doing, but I was confused about the Power Rangers over there. I was confused because the reason being is because I'm like, they're taking up for you. But it really did spark a good conversation because there is a thing where people who are either in that gray area, as in bisexual people or non-binary, they really do have that experience of, where straight people saying, you're not this, you go over there and then you actually do have queer people that are either trans or gay men, lesbian women saying, oh no, you got to pick one, you go over there. That really is an experience that does happen. Alrighty, because righty, let me see. Okay, so yeah, so Crystal Ball was just about, now this is when they try to bring the situation back down and all these different type of things. So Crystal Ball was just about trying to explain to Natalie what was the big issue, as in them quote unquote asking questions. And so he was like, it's nothing wrong with you asking questions. It's just that you're trying to force somebody to tell you and having that feeling like you have their right to know all of these type of things. And then Miss Skittles, Miss Skittles, but not with the red pack, the green pack, because this bitch was hot. Was like, it's none of your business, and all the type of stuff. And I was like, yes, ma'am, you better go off, because that's exactly what the hell I was thinking. I was like, it's none of your business. Why does it matter? So Sarah Skittles was going off at this point, and Natalie made it known indirectly that people are going to have questions. And with that being said, because we understand that all of this has been taken in, and we understand that this needs to be talked about, because we do have a lot of men that don't feel comfortable being around different types of people, and which I understand the bigger picture, but I understood why the head was mad as hell, bitch. I ain't trying to hear all that shit, bitch, because they trying to. Alrighty. Yeah, so in the midst of that, yeah, like I said, she asked about, Neo Soul's feelings, and his response was, he felt like both sides, like I literally just said, was like on some BS, and they basically telling him, quote unquote, pick a side. Well, I can understand DMV and freaking Gatekeeper, but the other side I wasn't really too sure, but I felt like that was an interesting point that really brought up a different type of conversation, put it that way. So yeah, so at this point, tension and the line of demarcation has been made between Gatekeeper and Neo Soul, baby, because Neo Soul said niggas are nosy as fuck. And he looked right over there to both of them, but mostly to Gatekeeper. And then he also said, he said something, and then Gatekeeper was like, we can have round 2. And then Neo Soul was like, bitch, we ain't even have round 1. I was like, yes, I was like, come on, good TV, bitch. I'm here for it, bitch. And then after that, Natalie and Zeus, they end up wrapping up. And then next thing you know, we have the trailer for the next episode. I give this episode, I give it its tens. Yes, ma'am. I give it its tens. It's 100% A1 because I like that these are having different conversations. Now I'm gonna say that I don't have a personal problem with Moolah and Curtis, you know. But however, I do like everybody on the show, and I understand I give them the blues. But however, I do like that everybody is on the show only because of the simple fact of she is loud on the background, bitch. But I do understand that these conversations are necessary, and I do like the fact that everything is kind of playing out the way that it is only because people, a lot of times when people tell their experiences, it's like okay, I can hear it, but it's different when you actually see it. You get what I'm saying? So it's kind of like cheaters when you be like you hear about your man cheating or your girl cheating, but however when you get that footage back from that private investigator, bitch, you be hot as hell, bitch. Something just like that. But however, thank you guys so very much. That is it for my review for today. Leave your comments. Let me know what you think. Did you like? Tell me what you did like, what you didn't like about this video. Let me know what you agree, what you don't agree about. Let me know who's your favorite, who's not your favorite. Let me know who was right, who was wrong. Let me know. Give me your comments. Give me all of those things. So that is it for my I'm gonna say commentary for my review for today, guys. Please make sure you guys pop that like button, hit the subscribe button, and please smack the notification bell so do not miss any more. Dang, I can't even get it out. Miss any more posts from me. And also too, I'm gonna start promoting my Cash App. My Cash App is $ at rlogic98. Is rlogic98, girl? Let me check. Yes, at rlogic98. So if you want to help donate, forgive me, y'all, my mouth is dry. If you want to help donate, please, anything will help. However, thank you for your time, and I am out of here. Deuces.